Yeah.
You tune to Evergreen Media Network. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is the Patient Partner Show, or a podcast on Spreaker. So look us up on there. Jeannie Roller is my co-host. Jeannie, this is a quite disturbing one, not as if it's even more disturbing that some of the ones that we've talked about or will talk about, but this is now social media is involved, and it's about a person that went in for a GYN exam, a PAP test, and how one of the medical people in the room then posted things about this person's PAP test on social media. And I'm just floored that anybody would do that. We had a conversation, you and I, before we went on the air, and I was talking about somebody that I knew years ago that was working at the health department as one of the nurses there, and would say, it was in a tiny town that I lived, would say to other people in social conversations who the people were that were going in to get shots for different kind of gonorrhea and things like that. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And, nobody wants any of that stuff, but they're in a clinic trying to get some help for themselves because they have this disease or whatever. And that person was like, well, I need to tell people so you know that you're not going to sleep with them or whatever. And I'm like, but isn't that privileged private information? Same thing as this. I mean, now social media, I mean, come on, who would post this kind of stuff? It's like third grade, fifth grade, eighth grade, whatever grade lunchroom where you're bullying the guy at the next table because his shirt isn't as nice as the one you think yours is.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, it's not only that, Cindy, but I mean, these nurses who posted this TikTok, don't they realize that when they go to their OB/GYN appointment, that the staff could be just as ignorant as they are?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's even more in depth than what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, to make fun of patients like that, even though they didn't name a specific patient, but to make fun of something that is a sensitive exam.
Yes.
It is just unbelievable that they have such immature people working for them. I mean, I just don't understand it. And it wasn't even a bodily fluid. It was the lubricant that they used for the exam. So.
Right. And so if you've had any of those PAP tests or whatever, those GYN tests, you know that that's part of the exam kind of thing. I did read some of the comments that were posted after, and every one of them was like, who are these people? It is an exam. This is the medical community. Do no harm. It goes on and on of all the stuff that you and I talk about on these heinous statements and whatever that people make. It's bad enough, the stuff that goes on, without perpetuating something like this. I mean, it's just like, do you need is it this about attention? What is it about? Because it can't be anything but that. You're not helping anybody by what you're doing. Yeah.
So to me, Cindy, it makes that feeling creep back up in me that what do they say and do when you're sedated?
Well, you don't have any. I do get that. I don't want that to happen, but I don't want it to happen, Jeannie, but it's not a perfect world. And I would think whoever is the head of the operating room when the patient is sedated or wherever the procedure is taking place, that the person in charge should quell that in a quarter of a second. In other words, if you have somebody that's going to do that, which hopefully there's not, we're supposed to be professional people here. Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So if you have to go walk into a closed bathroom or something and say something to yourself about it and it makes you feel better, go ahead and do that. But I mean, come on, this is a professional place and you're supposed to act professionally. I know that sounds stupid, but I would think in 99% of the cases, hopefully, that somebody's in charge and say, listen, that doesn't fly here. If that's the way you are, conduct yourself, then you have no business working here. That's what I would hope.
Right.
But to go on, they did hold these people accountable.
Yeah.
They
They
did.
placed them on leave.
Yep, they placed him on leave. They did, and it was in California, which not that doesn't matter. I mean, stuff like this can happen anywhere else. I probably shouldn't even say that. It was an urgent care place. So apparently, somebody needed some kind of procedure or whatever right away, and they did place him on leave. It wasn't like they just laughed it along with it and let it go on, which. Some of the stuff you and I have talked about, the people that you would think would be in charge aren't, and they're, kind of jumping on the bandwagon with the others. So at least they did do that. But to be able to even think to post something like this on any kind of social media is just beyond comprehension, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and it just proves that when we say to them we don't want a female president if we're a male, or we don't want a male president if we're female, and they come back, well, we're professionals.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this all before. It means nothing to us. Clearly, it does to some of them.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And we don't get to pick and choose those people.
No.
No, we don't get to pick and choose. I mean, like I was told in my instance, these are the people, they work for this facility, and that's it. Love it or leave it. But you don't think stuff like that's going to happen, because certainly now I would have left in 3 seconds.
Right.
I would have left in 3 seconds. And in our instances, nothing got done. So at least these people, I feel better that they were held accountable.
Yeah.
And the silly thing about it is if you need something even more silly that goes along with it. So now it's posted on social media did it have names and stuff like that in the facility where it was? Okay, so that's going to follow you for how long? The rest of your life, maybe?
Yeah.
And you want to stay in the medical arena? Good luck with that.
Well, actually, it did post the facility name, and it posted the faces of the people.
So there you go.
Who did this. I think there were like 3 or 4 female medical people. And then there was a female doctor who came on and talked about how wrong these people were, and how it, makes further mistrust of healthcare, and so on and so forth. So, yeah.
Well, it's like you said, now you're thinking what else goes on. I mean, no one wants to be paranoid about this, but there's just one instance after another, after another, after another. And now you have this posted on social media, about some poor soul that went in there to get themselves health care, viable place to go for that certain kind of procedure. Like you said, I mean, it's one of the most intimate procedures there is, if not the most intimate procedure for a female. And come on. Now you're sitting at the lunch table or whatever. Oh, look at her. Blah, blah, look what's coming out of her. I mean, come on. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's horrifying, really, is what it is.
It is horrifying. It's bad enough to think that people would do that at their lunch break, if you will, kind of thing. But, that, it's private, whatever. You can't stop that. Nobody should really be talking about it. It shouldn't leave the area. But to post it on social media that this is what we saw and look at this and, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, posting it on social media is even worse than just sitting around the lunch table talking about it, in my opinion.
It's worse then?
Yeah, it is worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the lunch table you can't really do anything about. I mean, it shouldn't happen. Yeah. But we're all human beings. Sometimes you have to vent. I mean, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm not. But, and again, these are all our opinions on these podcasts. We're not doctors. We're not lawyers or anything like that. But, right. And people have to vent about things maybe that bother them or whatever they need to work out. But that's not something that you'd post on social media. I mean, just crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah. So, but again, they were held accountable. So that is good news. I mean, we do these podcasts trying to talk about these things to try to figure stuff out to help people along the way, because we wish we knew some of this stuff ourselves when it happened to us and our friends and family members and whatever. And that is the thing, Jeannie, that you and I do talk about on this, that's what we wanted. We weren't suing people for money. We were looking to have people held accountable, and things changed, and that didn't happen in our instances. So we started this podcast, and we have a whole network of people that do different things, and thank you to all of them. That do news articles and blah, 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 blah. And it goes on and on and on to try to help the next guy in line not get this horrific healthcare. On that note, stay listening to Evergreen Media Network.